And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good morning, friends, family, and fellow futures traders. It's time for the market forecast for Tuesday, September the 13th. My name is John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time. And as always, we're seeking accurate context, good risk management, and remaining patient in our trading every day and every moment of the day. Speaking of context, our context has changed drastically this morning. At 7:30 this morning, the CPI numbers came out, all of them higher than expected. Inflation is still a big issue. You can pretty much be sure we're going to see a 75 basis point increase in rates on Wednesday. That's up in the air. Let's take a look at the numbers. The core August month over month was 0.3 last month. They were looking for 0.3 this month. It came out plus 0.6%. Core year over year, last month it was 5.9%. They were expecting 6.1%, a higher number. It came out worse than that at 6.3%. The CPI month over month overall last month was 0%. You remember our president bragging on that. Well, they were looking for minus 0.1%. It came out plus 0.1% this morning, and the CPI year over year to August was 8.5 last month, looking for 8.1 this month, and came out 8.3%. So all of the CPI numbers came out higher than expected, and everything has changed in an instant as far as today is concerned. Now, my strategy for this morning, and it's an excellent strategy if you ask me, was don't do anything. Don't carry anything into this. If you were watching, I know the NASDAQ had a big gap in it. There was a 12-point gap where the S&Ps didn't even trade on the way down. So if you hit a stop at that level, your slippage is going to be at least 12 points. It's one of the main reasons why I don't take positions into economic numbers. I've done that enough in the past. I've had great days. I've had horrible days. Adding them all up over time, I break about even. So I don't come to that party. We've got a lot going on today. There's a lot changing. Stocks were higher earlier on speculation that the worst of inflation is behind us. Obviously, it is not. We are also facing some other headwinds from supply chain possible difficulties with a potential railroad strike that may hit as early as Friday. Crude prices were continuing higher this morning until the numbers came out. We're still, I believe, awaiting OPEC's monthly report, and of course the API and EIA numbers today and tomorrow. Pressure, I guess, is rising on the Russian President Putin, as approximately 24 Russian lawmakers are calling for his removal as the Russian army cedes back more territory in Ukraine. So interesting news there. The VIX, let's see if I've got a fresh number here. It really knee-jerked to the upside. It's showing me right now about 24.5. So a pretty decent knee-jerk to the upside. The dollar index also a nice knee-jerk to the upside now. 109.04 this morning when I was looking at it was down around 107.8, and the yield on the 10-year has taken a jump as well, now up to just over 3.4%. As always, if you like what you see, hit the lucky like button. Share, comment, question, feedback, and heckling are always welcome. And there's a lot of love for everybody here on the Market Forecast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You get notifications when we do go live. I'm going to see my survivors here this morning. James Swan, first one in the room, wins the prize. Anyone glad they were flat during that little $500 swing in the NASDAQ? Me too. Yes, me too. James Swan, good morning. Patrick was expecting a reaction, but this was way more than he was expecting. Good morning, Theo. Scott Saw, James Harris. Shaw Cunningham, good morning all. Patrick was insane, so quick. Good morning, my brother. I love you. Jules, chilling with Dylan Dark. Kevin, good morning. Easy profit morning. Kevin, I guess, was either short or got short at some point on the way down, and it's a gutsy move. It's an easy loss morning as well. Terry King, crazy move. Ron, good morning. Marcelo, Jimmy Decker. That was a crazy drop to watch, wasn't it? Anybody take it? I am hoping somebody got some money on that and did not take a huge loss. I wonder if it'll retrace back up. Only time will tell. Marcelo, Brody, what's this big red streak on my charts? Yeah, that's a little bit of blood in the streets, it looks like. Serenity Trader, hola. James Swan, good morning. JD, Vince, good morning. Scarlet Arachnid, good morning. Malachi, good morning. That drop hurt. Ouch. Yes, I hope you didn't get hurt too bad. It was difficult not to if you were the wrong way this morning. The Rooster, good morning. Trading Research, Dario, good morning. Dan Trader, JD, lower but above expectations. So dumb. David, good morning. Lacey's Tail Wagon. Did you see it, Serenity? She's around here somewhere. I think she needs to go out. Every time I start the forecast, she starts griping like, I gotta go. But she'll be all right. George Duque, good morning. Sarah Hall, good morning and love to you as well. Good morning. JD held 2 micros. All right, that's okay. Yep, CPI equals anything can happen. ACH, our acronym here at the Market Forecast. Jules did not participate in the party either. It's quite the party. I don't need to go there. Rob T, good morning. Daryl Pipels, good morning. The weekly kickoff level was for the September contract. The December rollover happened a little bit faster than I was thinking. Yesterday, there was an approximate 18-point premium in December from the September contract, so you can adjust your levels appropriately. Unicus, the quote for the day: "It is what it is. Don't fight, wish, or argue to make it what it isn't. It will only frustrate you." Very good quote again this morning, Unicus. Keep those coming. I enjoy those, and I know everybody else enjoys them as well. Finally funded. Michael, nice job. Murph, please put the CPI and other economic numbers on its economic events calendar. Well, Murphy, the economic events calendar until recently was only products that you had to be flat for, and we've removed that rule. So what I'd like to do here is give you this link, quite simple, easy to read calendar where you can check for the economic numbers yourself every morning. It's the Econo Day calendar, and it'll tell you the U.S., and you can even add the European economic numbers due out on that. There is another one here. This is another one that I look at that actually brings the numbers as they are released. This is the investor.com link, so you can check out your economic numbers every day. That's for you, Murph, and everybody, of course. Hegel Matters, good morning, Kevin. ZK, what is the VIX? The VIX, last I checked here, was up at 24.54, and that's a delayed quote, so it may be higher than that. Suarez trading. Good morning. Lewis. Let's get some good open outcries today. Good morning to you. Rusty Golfer, my spirit animal. Good to see you. Mike, I like your idea. Just wait and watch today. Well, there might be opportunities as the day goes on. We don't know what the day is going to bring as it continues. So we're going to just be patient, wait for the market to give us an opportunity. If I go looking for trades today, Mike, I know I'll find some, and they may not be the ones that I'm really looking for. I got both long and short up $1,150 on CL. Settlement helped a lot with the counter trend. Nice job. Joey, the data wasn't great, but not as bad as it could have been. Well, of course, it can always be worse. We're all, of course, hoping for the best, and I think a lot of folks were, and that may be part of why we're getting this very deep pullback. Flat is a position. Yeah, morning highlights, my favorite saying. A flat is a position. Orion, good morning. Joe, good morning. Still working on the combine. That's okay. Just take your time. VIX, checking trading view, check trading view. JD, Three Lions, good morning. Lacey, you got to chill. Please. I know. I'll try and get you out, but we got a very busy morning here because we also have Make Hogue Money. You're going to make me some money today? You going to make me some money? I hope you will. All right. Here's the link to get into Make Hogue Money today. If you want to join the Zoom meeting, here is the link to get into the Zoom meeting. You can also watch it on YouTube Live. We're going to be there about 8:20 today. We got a lot to talk about. Let's jump into the charts and see what is going on here. Yeah, she may be able to. She's a big 80-pound German Shepherd, so she can certainly sense when there is meat around. All right, here's the E-mini S&Ps. Pretty much everything that's on this was prior to the numbers, so there's, again, been a lot of change. Lacey, I got to get my hand on the mouse. She's moosing my hand away from the mouse. Okay. All right. Yeah, you can use the other hand, Lace. Okay. All right. So we were into 4 straight days of one-time framing to the upside. We know we're in rollover, so the open interest in volume is very difficult to read in rollover. We added 91,000 contracts yesterday overall. That is a function of rollover. If it wasn't for rollover, I would say that this auction was extremely strong to the upside, but because it's rollover, not so much. It's presenting as a very emotional move. There's a lot of weaknesses in structure on this move to the upside, and we seem to be coming back to recheck those weaknesses in structure as we speak. We've been talking all week that is, if there's no bad news, and last week as well, if there's no bad news, the market's probably going to continue to rotate higher and higher, which it did. Now we've got some bad news. Take a look at the 30-minute chart. This is going to be funny. So we had overnight longs. Those overnight longs are now, of course, out. We've traded through the gap from yesterday, the point of control from the day before, to the gap from last week. This is Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. So we're down to this gap here. We've got another naked point of control down below that, and there's still down to that point of control is kind of where the weakness ends. We do have a relatively weak overnight low back here, but we've been putting up excess at the daily lows, which I find encouraging. So what the heck do we do with this? Well, we're going to let the market open. It's going to open out of balance. It's probably going to have a large opening range, so we might be skipping that. We're going to be looking for opportunities as the day goes on. It's going to be fun to watch in Make Hogue Money today if we find opportunities. If we don't, there'll be some good conversation and some good potential ideas, but we're out of whack here. We're out of balance, so we're going to be cautious and making sure we're finding trades that find us. Don't want to go looking for trades. We don't have to trade. In in Make Hogue Money. It sure would make it more interesting, but we want to be good risk managers. And if we don't see opportunities to limit risk on anything we do, we won't do anything. So we got our bad news. On this move to the downside, 41.5675, 41.5675, all the way up here to all the way down here, 41.4475. There was no trading. There was nothing. It just dropped like a rock. And if you had longs on trying to get out, that was some pretty serious slippage. I haven't seen slippage like that in quite a while. Let's go ahead and check into the crude oil here. We've got the opening range just about to finish up. We're in rollover here as well. We're still trading the October. We'll probably be trading November tomorrow or Thursday. We'll be watching to see when the volume moves into the November contract. With the risk-on environment, we've had some opportunities for upside moves here in crude oil. No, Lacey, don't go down there. Don't go down there. So we've had some opportunities for upside moves. We've been talking about some possible OPEC cuts. We have information from OPEC today. I haven't had the opportunity to see what they had to say if it's already out. So some supply cuts possibly in question. API and EIA pending. Volume and open interest is blurry. We added 2,800 in open interest yesterday, but on lower volume. But the volume is obviously rolling from the October to the November contract. This all becomes very blurry. Taking a look at the 30. We had the knee jerk to the downside. We've tested down and we've checked this little gap here that we left from Friday to Monday. There's more weak structure down below. Okay, we had some pretty good excesses down here. We've got a naked point of control, another gap, and a naked point of control before we get to weekly kickoff low, which is 83.50. I don't know if we're going to be getting down to that today, but we'll see. So the market opens. Let's see if we left the opening range at one extreme. Maybe see how big it is. Here's the 8 o'clock bar. It's not really presenting all that visibly here this morning. 86.92 to 87.50. So more than a 50-point opening range. It looked down below first. It just took out the high. This little rejection down here might be impactful, so we might start looking for opportunities to buy weakness, but we've got to get good trade location. One of the things that I say, and I say a lot, is we cannot forsake trade location for momentum. We're seeing a lot of potential momentum in markets today, but if you don't get a good entry, you're going to get out before you get the opportunity to take any kind of profit. Here's the NASDAQ. NASDAQ also added 14,000 contracts yesterday on an attempt to get to weekly kickoff high, where the S&Ps closed above a weekly kickoff high. Both of these contracts are seeing rejection above that price. Of course, we had a lot of help today. We were testing weekly kickoff high before the numbers. That is a distant memory now. So we've got a pretty deep pullback here. CPI, we know what happened. We got our bad news. Well, our bad news has the market pushing lower. We've pushed all the way through some numbers that we look to check in regular trading hours. One thing about the S&P and the NASDAQ is both of them put in a recent high in regular trading, in extended trading hours. The market doesn't like to leave that. It has no choice but to do that for today. We've got two gaps to fill. We've got another naked point of control down here before we get to weekly kickoff low. Watch the market. There may be some hints or opportunities off the opening range. If the opening range is too big, then you just don't want to take that risk. So we'll be watching that on the market on Make Hogue Money. Be patient. The market will present. It's going to find an area of a short time frame area of balance, with which it gives us the opportunity to work the extremes of that area of balance. It's probably unlikely that this market is going to just one time frame lower all day long, but if it does, we've got to be prepared. We've got to try and find ways in. Be patient. look for the market to set up some sort of day time frame structure to lean against to limit the risk. Limit the risk. Tyson Casey says he made 500 grand already this morning. That's a good trade there, Tyson. All right. Let's take a look at gold. Short time frame direction was to the upside. Volume yesterday was We're not worried about rollover here. We were kind of looking at this as a potential for a bear flag. Okay, so this bear flag has now broken to the downside. We're going to be looking to see if we can't find some sort of support level down near last week's low or weekly kickoff low. But I'm looking at this market as something I want to try and sell strength in. Take a look at the 30. Pow. All right, well, broke right down through the bottom channel here of the bear flag. Again, last week's low and weekly kickoff low are good targets for that. Traded right down through a naked point of control here. We don't really have any short time frame important levels that have been left behind in short time frame again, of course. And so again, I'm going to try and stay patient today. All right. Euro. Dollar takes a jump to the upside. Euro takes a dive to the downside. Again, the euro is in rollover. We were looking for some sort of acceptance prior to the open, prior to the numbers today above weekly kickoff high. That has now been rejected. Take a look at the 30. So here's our kind of attempt to find acceptance above the weekly kickoff high. The number came out, took us right back down through point of control from yesterday, point of control from the day before, through the gap. Now we're just going to see if we can't find some sort of basing, I think, maybe somewhere down here. Okay, we are one time framing lower. We're going to try and stay patient with all of these opportunities today. Here's the 10-year. Higher rates, lower pricing. Getting possibly a decent test down near weekly kickoff low today. We did add 30,000 in open interest yesterday on an attempt to move lower. Volume wasn't all that great. It's going to be much bigger for us today. We had some overnight inventory that was long. That has now been reconciled, of course. Now we're getting a test of possible weekly kickoff low. These are levels that I think might be an interesting spot for us. Again, it just allows us to limit risk. We can lose the worm. We're not going to lose the rod and reel at these important inflection levels. And nat gas. Unimpressive volume yesterday. We know it's coming into rollover. Pretty unimpressive move. I mean, we only added 1,000 in open interest estimated yesterday. Seems like we're still working on creating our head and shoulders that we've been kind of looking at here in the nat gas. Take a look at the 30. And here we are. We've got the market just kind of hanging inside of a range from yesterday, inside value. Stay patient. We had a P-shaped profile, which would indicate short covering, but that's not substantiated by the increase in open interest. The increase in open interest indicates possible new buying coming in. So I'm looking at this as an opportunity for me to be patient, wait for some sort of weakness that I can lean against to look for an opportunity for a long. So we've got a lot of opportunities in these markets today. A lot of these opportunities are going to be higher risk. Don't forget, along with the bigger opportunities does come the higher risk. We've got our guy Tyson saying he made 500 grand today, but lost 800 grand in the past year, and that's the plight of the trader. We got to try and lose less than we make. But if that's actually what he did today, that's a wonderful day. Congratulations, and we'll look forward to seeing what we've got going on for the rest of the day for the rest of us here. If I were you, I'd be walking away and going to buy some real estate or something. But we've got a full day ahead of us. Yes, a lot of opportunities, but then again, a lot of risk. So on that note, we're going to get ready to get into Make Hogue Money. I'm going to take my deep breath. I'm going to stay calm, cool, grateful, humble, and creative in my trading today, and see if we can't find some opportunities. You guys bring your knowledgeable trader. I need you to make me a little bit of money and Make Hogue Money today. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. We'll get that up and running here at about 8:20. Looking forward to another good session, and need some help. So if you want to talk, you want to participate, make sure you get to the Zoom meeting. You can speak, you can show your charts. Let's figure this out and see if we can't make a little bit of dough for me today. If you're not coming to the Zoom meeting, you can watch it, of course, on YouTube, and we look forward to seeing everybody and hanging out with us. So get a good day going. Tyson, I would, like I said, go be looking to buy some sort of real estate today. But for the rest of us, we still got to make a little bit of money. So we'll see you in just a few minutes and Make Hogue Money. If I don't see you, trade well today. We'll see you on the recap.